Good morning. Welcome to Triple M Monday Morning Motivation. Thank you guys for tuning in live. Thank you guys for watching the recording. Today we've got an amazing video. We're going to be learning about how to change your frequency. And I know most of you guys are probably like, what is your frequency? I thought this was Triple M, not a radio show. Well, your frequency is your energy level. We're all energy. So I know you look at your arm, and I know you look at your hand, and I know you look at even the desk or the computer, and you think it's solid, but it's not. Everything is energy, meaning that even my arm right here is nothing but atoms and molecules moving at a very high rate. And that's why it looks solid, because they're moving so fast. But they're at a frequency, and everything is at a frequency. For example, love, your goals, your relationship you want, or the relationship that you are in that you want to be a certain way, everything is at a certain, frequency. So what we're going to learn right now is the power of intentionally controlling your frequency to attracting what you want. Because if you want to tune into 105.9 The Beat here in LA, because that's where you're going to have fun, be happy and have a blast, but you keep turning into 99.2, wondering why you're not getting the station, why you're not getting what you want, why you're not being happy, you're just tuning into the wrong frequency. And that's all it is. And now that you're going to be aware of this, you'll be able to change everything. So without further ado, get your friends on. If they're not on yet, tell them, yo, we got the technical difficulties fixed out. We're about to get into Triple M with how to change your frequency. Let's get it.
That's got to go, and I can go into the energy and tell you what it is and where you got it and what age and who you bought it from. So it's like an interesting talent and skill. And what I noticed is that when I cleared these patterns from people, their lives would change. And how would I know that? They would call me up and they would go, holy crap, you're not going to believe what happened. And so I get a lot of those things. I've had multimillionaires come to me who've lost their money, made their money, lost their money, made their money, and they come to me and they say, I'm really tired of this pattern. What is that?
Sorry, I'm just connecting to
and usually it's like guilt or shame. Frequencies, and you pull those out of somebody's system, and then all of a sudden they can make the money and keep the money. Or the same thing with disease or love or any of those areas of your life. And so I'm going to take you into my world a little bit, and I'm going to talk about energy, and I'm going to show you how I see the world, because if you look at the world the way I see it, you will then be tapped into the causal plane where everything can be changed, because everything that you see in the outpicturing of your life really is the effect of your life, and everything that created it was created by all your thoughts, beliefs, ideologies, and every judgment you've ever bought or sold yourself, to or from somebody. And so those points of view make up your reality, and that's why your life is the way it is. Okay, so how many of you have ever been blocked in making your dream happen? Anybody? Okay, cool. So we're going to teach you how to get rid of that. All right. And I believe that if you change the frequency, like what thoughts and things that you let come through your energy field every day, that's how you can change your reality. Now so I want you to just think, okay, so we're on a stage, there's a chair, there's your body, all right? It's made out of matter, right? And underneath the matter, it's made out of atoms and molecules and protons and neutrons and source energy that kind of permeates and holds everything together. And on this planet, there's a thing called polarity. And that's where we live from this whole thing of light and dark, truth and falsehood. And even if you look at water, for instance, you freeze it and it's a solid. In the middle is a liquid, and then steam, right? So things can be transferred and changed. Negative polarity, we have electrons and neutrons. Those have a negative charge. Protons have a positive. So everything has a positive and a negative, and there's a source energy that holds it all together. So can you influence your environment? Well, there's an interesting, how many of you have heard of Dr. Emoto, who talked about the hidden messages in water? Yeah, a lot of you, good. Okay, so Dr. Emoto, for those of you who don't know, he did an interesting experiment, and he took plain old tap water. And what he did was he froze it, then he took it and he put it under a microscope, and he took a picture of the molecules of water. And when it was frozen, just plain tap water, the molecules look something like this. So there's really no shape to it. There's no, no crystalline structure to it or anything like that. Then he took other bottles of water, and what he did was he put different words on it. Like, so for instance, he did one that was love and thanks, and on this bottle of water with love and thanks, he took a photo again after it was frozen, and the crystalline structure showed up. So there was a form to it. So he saw that with intention. He also prayed over the bottles. With intention, you can change your environment. He did another one that's really interesting. I hate you, you make me sick. I was watching this reality TV show one time, and this chick kept saying, "Oh, that's so sick," and that's so sick, and I'm going, "Oh my God, what are you doing to your body? Your body's made up 70% water, right?" So she's going, "Oh, that made me sick." I'm like, "Okay, interesting projection." Then he did an energy of joy. That's joy. Joy is one of the higher frequencies that we can go. You fool. So how many judgments do we do inside our own selves where we say, we call ourselves little names in our head, and we go, "What are you thinking? You're so stupid," right? So that's the energy that you're putting in your body. Gratitude, gorgeous. Gratitude is an interesting energy. What I notice when people do gratitude statements and they're deeply appreciative and grateful for something, literally a vortex of energy occurs around people. So this swirly, like, really cool space opens that allows for new stuff to come in. So gratitude's a really cool frequency to use. Dr. Bro, he did also an experiment proving that we can change, and influence the environment around us. He took red blood cells, and through intention, he proved that they could slow down the rate of blood cells dying. So, you can affect it. There's also another interesting experiment by the Maharishi. It's called the Maharishi effect. And in the Maharishi effect, he took like 7,000 meditative yogi monks, and he threw them in different cities. And they measured what happened in those cities before and after through a variety of ways. In one city, the crime rate actually dropped 22%. In other cities, they monitored that the pollution dropped. In Tel Aviv, the stock market went up. So this is basically putting conscious beings in a place, pulling in source energy, radiating it out in a space to change the environment. Okay. Then when I was working on people, I noticed that some people would change really rapidly and some people not so much. And so I came across a book called Power versus Force, and it had this beautiful little scale in it. And what I noticed in the scale is that he was basically putting in a little scale what I was seeing in my practice, why some people would change and some people wouldn't. So when I was looking at people and I was like pulling out these patterns, some people obviously had more patterns than others. And if somebody had guilt and shame, they were usually the harder patterns to pull out. And here's why. They're actually the lowest frequency. So the energy of shame basically means I am not enough. So if you notice that when we're going through, if you kind of track all your beliefs, like you think I can't make money, you go all the way down it, or I can't have love, you go all the way down it. Basically, it hits this little funny place that says I am not enough. Like you think you're not powerful enough, right? So that's shame. Guilt is the energy of 30. He measured Hitler on the scale. Hitler's energy was like 37. Okay, so he actually did feel a little guilty somewhere about what he was doing. Then there's the energy of apathy, which is where a lot of homeless people will live because they just sort of give up and they don't care so much. The energy of grief. where you're just totally sad and your whole energy field. Like if you have grief over money, that would be like, you know, you feel like a victim, that you really can't, you know, how come I can't get any money? You're just sad about it. Fear, maybe if I make too much money, people will want to take it away from me. Like there's a little bit of a paranoia with those kind of beliefs or structures. Desire. Now this energy of desire is not the true desire to have like a goal or a better life. This energy desire is more about like the addictive quality of, you know, I desire something from an egoic place of, if I don't have, like I need it to build me up because I don't actually feel like I am enough, right? So it's a different kind of desire. Anger. Now anger is an interesting one because at least it's a moving energy. Now if somebody gets mad in front of me, I'm kind of happy. You want to know why? Because at least I know they're pissed off enough to actually do something with the energy. Okay, so anger will move you. Pride. Pride is usually where a lot of fundamentalism live, because you're prideful because of these ingrained beliefs that you have, and they might not necessarily be your own. Courage is level 200, and courage is basically a door opener. He found in his research that basically, like it's enlightened masters 1,000, right? And love is 500. One person at 500 can positively change the frequency of those at 200, lift 750,000 other people, okay? If one person at the vibration of 600 can affect 10 million people, one person at the vibration 700, enlightened, can positively impact 70 million people. So that's why I was excited about this, because basically it shows that you can change your environment. You being more you can actually really influence the world or change the world. And so you moved up courage to neutrality. And by the way, the reason I stopped on courage is because right now the planet's like only, the average of all human beings on the planet is only a little bit over 200. Okay? So that's not very high. Now, obviously some countries are higher than others, right? If they're practicing like, you know, America and things like that are in between the 400 and 500, so is the average. So we have willingness, where you're actually willing to do something. Acceptance, where you accept responsibility for a bigger part of your life. Reasoning, between 400 and 500 is where the scientists live. Einstein measured at 499 because he didn't necessarily believe quite in love. He was doing like mathematical reasoning kind of energy. The energy of love, which is why I call my product Love or Above, is again, the premise is basically you can change 750,000 other people by you vibrating the energy of love. And so healing energy happens at joy. You want to heal something in your life? Go play. Then there's peace, 600 and above, and enlightenment. So it's a logarithmic scale, and basically I'm just showing you that all of the beliefs and structures that you have in your being emanate or vibrate at one of these levels. And if you pay attention consciously to what's going on inside you, what are you thinking, you can have...
Awesome, you guys. Okay, so I know that video was a little different, but I want you guys to really pay attention. That video had 3.5 million views, and it's not by accident. And to be honest, I watched that video probably a year or two ago, and I still remember things from it. I still remember that enlightened beings can lift 700 or 70 million. I knew that there was a way that people could lift other people's energy up, and I never heard that, but it made sense. You ever got around somebody and like, oh man, I feel different. And I was like, I never understood that till now. That video is so powerful. It's called How to Change Your Frequency to Change Your Reality. How to change your frequency to change your reality. It's a little bit longer than we went if you want to go back and check the whole thing. But we're going to get a few quick shares about it. And man, it was so powerful. So number one, I want you guys to really understand that, can you guys see me all right? Give me a thumbs up. Hear me all right? See me all right? Hear me all right? Okay, cool. They talked about the water. This was kind of weird. They talked about the water bottle, or the water's in the vial with the words on it and the energy spoken over it. So there was things like gratitude, love, And then there was things like I hate you or negative things. And then they looked at the under a microscope and they saw a difference in structure. You saw gratitude look like a snowflake. You saw that I hate you or negative had very crystalline, like very sharp, jagged, unnatural, unsymmetrical structures. And you might be thinking, is that even true? I'm going to take their word for it that they did the research because I've actually heard this in multiple places. Biggest thing to understand is our body is 70% water. Our head is actually 80% water. I was just listening to The Power yesterday by Rhonda Byrne, who wrote The Secret, and she talked about the same exact thing. So now we get to deeper understanding in the power of our words and our thoughts. We think, or we could think, that words don't really mean anything or thoughts don't really mean anything, but we just saw a study in science that showed the power of words and thoughts on water. So if it's negatively impacting that water and we're 70 to 80% water, maybe this is a way for you to more deeply understand the impact of your thoughts and your words now on a molecular, like science class level. So for me, I got deeper understanding, deeper gratitude for gratitude. I kind of just saw how it worked. So if gratitude made the water more positively impact, and then I'm mostly water, now I see how gratitude can impact me and others. When I say things to others, when I think things about others, now I'm being enlightened to the process. It's like you're seeing the underlining thing. And curse words, when you use curse words, when you say negative things about people, when you gossip, when you think negative things, because we all have that voice. I really like Darren Jones when he said, every time if I judge anybody, I automatically take my thoughts back and I think something positive about them. If I judge somebody, because I do it all the time, I'm going to be honest, I have my thoughts and it'll be my ego, because your ego is always there. Your ego is a protection mechanism from when you're young. So your ego will pop up and say, I'm better, I do this, they're not as good, they're separate, and it'll pop up. And you could either, I used to believe that voice. I was like, you're right, I am. I'm the man, huh? I don't know why I believe that voice. I guess you wanted to believe that voice. But it's not true. And the ego, that voice, will have you alone, unhappy, unfulfilled, because the ego wants to separate you from everything. It wants to tear everybody down and you be the best. So I would say, no, that's not true. I don't believe that thought. This is what I actually believe. And I believe, you know what? That person is working hard. That person is getting better. That person showed up today. That person is on their way. And I would switch my thought. And it makes the biggest difference, because when you judge others, you actually judge yourself. Everybody's just a reflection of you. So that was really powerful. Last thing I'll leave you with as we go into a few shares is understanding the difference in frequency was so dope. Shame versus enlightenment. Understanding that frequency chart. I took a picture of that. It kind of showed you the progression of life. That was powerful. So let's get into a few shares from you guys. Give me a smile. Give me a thumbs up if you took away something awesome that you'd love to share. Smile or thumbs up. Everybody's still taking in these nuggets. Smile or thumbs up. I'm about to just call on somebody. Andre Ortiz. What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
What's up? What was your biggest takeaway? And where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida in the building. What's up, man?
No, the biggest takeaway was I just like how they did that study with the water and how the things that you can actually speak and can affect how something crystallizes. So I thought that was really interesting.
Dope. Awesome. That was interesting. Now we understand the power of our words and thoughts even more. Like Bill Nye, the science, the guy level, if you remember that guy. Awesome. Thank you, Andre, for tuning in from Orlando. Let's get another share. Give me a smile. Give me a thumbs up. Let's get it. Ronnie. Hit us with it.
All right, man. This video was a little different, like you said. I haven't seen it before, so it's pretty cool to see it. I'm probably going to talk honestly, what really hit me was more along the lines of like how each thought or like each thought changed in a certain environment. Like the energy of grief was like sad. If you were grieving over money, you became a victim. And you can change your environment. So if you love more, you can change more lives by, being positive, like telling someone at your job, like, oh, great job today. And they're not used to that, even though you're not like a manager or anything, they're not used to that. So you're changing their environment. They're going to have a better day. And it's just by one simple word you said to them, which I take into personal effect. I do that every day. Oh, I try to as much as I can. So I really like that you can really change your environment by your own personality. That's probably one of my takeaways.
Dope. Awesome. You can change your environment by your personality. They showed it here. They said love alone, operating at that frequency. They said they took some Buddhist monks and they put them in different cities and they checked the crime rate, the pollution. One of the cities, the crime rate dropped 22%. Now, I know you guys might be like, man, is this true? I'm going to take their word for it, but I'm also going to think about my mind. Have I been exposed to somebody that's been vibrating at a different level for me, and has it affected me? Absolutely. I don't know, have you ever been angry and you walk into a place where there's 3 people talking and they're all calm and peaceful? It's very hard to still be angry. You walk around somebody laughing and smiling and you're upset and not in a good mood. It's hard to stay upset in a good mood. So I do see the validity of this. So I love that. They said enlightened people can lift up 70 million people. Love can lift up 750,000 people. I love that. I want to believe that because I want to believe we have the power to help others by, like, you know how they say you can't change the world by yourself? I feel like with this, we just learned that we can change a lot of people by ourselves, just by you vibrating higher. Any other shares? One more share? Give me a thumbs up or a smile. I feel like, I got to get this nugget in. I think everybody's dropped their nuggets. Okay. I want to leave you guys. Shalonda, hit us with a nugget.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. What'd you take away?
All right. My takeaway was she said, whatever you say, you put that energy in your body and in your mind. So just pretty much just changing my perspective and just always putting positive energy. Since I started Herbalife, my whole perspective has changed, and you guys help me stay motivated 24/7. So I really appreciate it, guys. That was my takeaway.
I love it. Thank you for that, Shalonda. Been beasting it. All right, so I'm putting the name of the video in the thread. It's called How to Change Your Frequency to Change Your Reality. I got Jose Morales for one more share. Go ahead and come off mute.
Hey guys, good morning. So this video that we saw this morning totally reminds me of the book that I'm reading right now, which is called The Power of Presence. And as we all know, presence can be seen, but it can more so be felt by your energy that you give off and by the vibes that people get from you. And one of the biggest takeaways I got was that whatever comes out of your mouth reflects what's going on up in your mind. So actions speak louder than words, I know, but you definitely got to, pick your words carefully, because a lot of times people can misconstrue things or can misinterpret things, and things can get very jaded. So yeah, definitely speak your mind, but speak from your heart as well, is what I got from that.
Nice, I love it. Is that the book with the, it looks like a little mannequin doll on it?
No, I don't got no mannequin doll. It's green and black though.
Okay, maybe I just got a book. I thought it was called The Power of Presence, but that sounds like a great book. Sounds like the book I'm reading, The Power, or listening to. I'm going to leave you guys with this. I used to think it was all about what you could see, what you could feel, reality as we call it. And the more I've gotten into my personal development, I'm doing a 50-book mission. I'm on like book 41 right now. The more I've seen that there's things that work in the universe that are laws that maybe necessarily aren't so cut and dry or very visible like you can see them, like gravity, or actually you can't even see gravity, or like, 1 + 1 = 2. And the more I've seen, I'm going to tell you guys, the Power said this and it blew my mind. She said you don't connect when you're upset at somebody at work and later that night you have stomach issues. You don't connect when you cut somebody off or somebody cuts you off and you get really mad and later you get in an argument with your partner or your friend. You don't connect when you get a surprise at work and you feel amazing and then you get home and you get every green light. You don't connect when you get to your car right before the person's about to write a ticket and they say, you know what, you're good for the day. And later on that night, you know, you come home to some extra cash in the mail. You don't connect it because you didn't see, like you can't see gravity if you were to step off the balcony. We just learned about it in school, so now we understand it. We're like, okay, I did connect. If I drop something and falls, I make that connection. But we were never taught that when we feel good here, it can affect us throughout the day because our energy will start to attract our frequency. Have you ever heard the power of three? Like if something bad happens, it usually happens 3 times. I remember one day in college, I was waiting tables in between college and grad school. I was waiting tables. It was a UFC fight night, and a table walked out on me, and their bill was like $150. And I ended up giving back all my tips that night to the bar. I said, you know what, here, take it. And I had to quit because I lost all my money that night. I get home. I park in the wrong spot, one spot over, one spot, and I get towed. They towed me. They didn't even come, yo, this is my apartment complex, and they towed me. And then something else bad happened that night. I can't even remember. But it was 3 things. I was like, what the hell is going on? It felt like the Matrix. And it was because now I look back, I can make the connection. That first thing, I didn't control my emotions. I didn't switch. I didn't take my emotions and say, you know what? That's okay. That can happen. It happened for a reason. Maybe you're not supposed to be here serving anymore. Be grateful now. Feel good now. The universe nudged you. It's looking out for you. Instead, I felt bad. Oh, poor me. Why'd that have to happen to me? Why'd they walk out on me? This is crappy. And more bad things happen to me. And if you ever got on a roll, hit momentum, on fire, you feeling good, feeling great, something great happens, and a few great things happen. It's emotions. It's emotions. And I never understood it till now. Your emotions create what you attract, creates your reality. Not just your words with no emotions, your emotions. So powerful. I hope you got some massive value from this video. Apologize for the technical difficulty, but thank you guys for staying on for those few minutes as we were getting rocked out. I'm going to take everybody off mute, and we're about to get this day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reality. About to be an epic Monday. Let's work.